to date on that one. Now, the chart. Again, we hate charts, but we love this one. It shows the difference in jobs created under President Reagan and under President Obama. As you can see, there is a divergence. Far more jobs under Reagan, far fewer under President Obama. And now we have a world-renowned economist. He did not win the Nobel Prize. Maybe he should have, but he didn't. But he is world-renowned, and his name is Nouriel Roubini. Welcome, sir. Welcome to the program.
Great being with you today.
OK, how do you explain this? I don't know whether you're on the left or the right, but I'm saying that Reagan's recovery was a whole lot better than the Obama recovery because Ronald Reagan cut taxes and stimulated the private sector of the economy, and Obama didn't. And you say what?
Well, there are a number of differences. First of all, Obama inherited the worst economic and financial crisis since the Great Depression. When he came to power, the stock market was down 70%, with unemployment rate like we never had before. The economy was tanking like during the Great Depression. So you started from an initial starting point was very different. Secondly, population growth is very different today than used to be. Migration, aging of baby boomers, so you can achieve full employment like we do right now because we're creating about 250,000 jobs per month with an employment rate close to the full employment at around 5%. So I would say that there is a difference in job creation, but you cannot essentially compare apples and oranges.
I mean, there's a difference in policy.
Well, in the case of Reagan, however, you have also considered the following fact. He did a policy stimulus. He cut taxes. It increased government spending, especially on the military, with a huge and growing budget deficit, while Obama, the first day came to power, inherited the budget deficits from Bush that was 1.2 trillion. Now it's down to 400, and he had to raise taxes and cut government spending, sequester, in order to reduce an unsustainable deficit. So you had the fiscal expansion under Bush, very large. You had the fiscal contraction under Obama, and that has an impact on fiscal drag and on the economic growth of the economy.
You're a real good economist. I know it. You're world-renowned. You should have won the Nobel Prize. But look, can't you make a distinction? Can't you make a judgment between what Ronald Reagan did in job creation and what Barack Obama has done? Will you make a judgment that one is better than the other? One policy succeeded where another maybe did not. Will you make that judgment?
Well, as I said, the starting point, frankly, are different. I don't want to be partisan. It's easy to say, let's compare Ronald Reagan with Obama. What happened under George W. Bush, job creation, or his father. So, you know, we want to compare Clinton with the Bushes and so on.
Well,
let's not be partisan, okay? So let's think about what the economy was. Obama inherited the worst financial crisis and economic recession since the Great Depression.
No, wait a minute. Ronald Reagan inherited a recession, too.
Sorry, was it a mild recession? Was it plain vanilla
recession? No, it was 1981. It was the first of Citigroup's major banking collapse. Citigroup failed for the first time in 1981.
We didn't have the worst economic recession and something looked like the Great Depression when Obama came to power. It was very different. What Reagan inherited was a plain vanilla recession. So the starting point was different. And right now, population growth is different. We have less migration, we have aging of baby boomers, and therefore we are achieving right now full employment. We're creating 250,000 jobs every month, and we have an unemployment rate at 5%, similar to the one Reagan achieved. So you cannot compare. Situations are very different.
Okay.
That's all I'm saying.
Now, you've teamed up to organize a way for investors in America. You teamed up with Barclays, I think. So you can invest in other countries very easily. I mean, make it simple. I know I can do this in other ways, but you've got a new way of doing it. Now, why should I want to invest in other countries at the moment? Why not invest in America?
First of all, you know, the first principle of investment is diversifying your portfolio. You cannot put all of your eggs into one basket. You would not invest only in companies in New York City or New York State. You diversify by investing in companies all over the United States, from California and so on. Therefore, there are a huge amount of investment opportunities around the world. For example, this year, Japan and Europe have done much better than the United States. P ratios are very high. Now, there are two approaches to investment. One is passive. You buy the benchmark, S&P or the World Index. You get the good, the bad, and the ugly, the average. Then there is active investment, that is choosing a portfolio manager. 95% of actively managed funds do worse than the benchmark, and they're very expensive. So there's a new approach, this smart beta, that is passive, but uses rules, comparing countries with an index based on 200 separate factors that rank countries around the world. Of course, the US is doing very well, but there are many other markets around the world, advanced economies, emerging markets, that should be in your portfolio. That's what's called smart beta. That's what we're supporting. It's low cost, it's passive, and it has high return and lower risk than actively managed funds and benchmarks.
You're going to win a Nobel Prize for that?
I don't know about that, but certainly it's a smarter way of investing than passive investment or active investment.
Nouriel Roubini, we thank you very much for being with us. I promoted you to Nobel Prize winner. You should thank me for this. You know? That carries $1 million prize, and you don't have to pay taxes on it. Did you know that?
Very kind.
Thank you. You're welcome.
That's very fun.
Nouriel, thank you, sir, Professor. All right.